All right, we are live at Austin Tech Week. I am Isaac Carter on the Catalyst Effect, and I am here with Javi, and we're going to be doing a whole new feature. We're going to be doing the voice of the founder. People here have, oh man, the Austin Tech Week has this amazing energy.
Yeah.
We just love it. Capital Factory puts on just an amazing event,
yeah.
really great. The folks here, they're so full of energy, they're so excited, and they know that they're going to change the world. Javi, you spent a lot of time talking to folks yesterday. You went and did some of the happy hours. What has your experience been here so far this week?
It is amazing. I am getting to know these people from all over the world, not necessarily from the U.S. I've talked to people from other countries and
Colombia, Uzbekistan.
and basically all of them just want to succeed with their startups and their business ideas. And it's so interesting that they have all of this knowledge about what they do, but they try to put everything together, just a business plan, an investor, and their own knowledge. So it's great to see how excited they are to be here and how they want to connect.
So I normally don't like working with technical founders because in my experience, most of the time they fail. Most of the time technical founders are so focused on the code that they can't get out of the code mindset and into the business problem solution mindset. But here I've noticed that it's almost exclusively non-technical sales founders, people that they've observed a group of people, a market that has experienced a problem, they've defined that problem, and now they're trying to create a solution to address that problem for that person, which if anybody's ever listened to the Catalyst Effect before, you know that is my whole thing. Observe an audience, observe a market, observe their pain, their 6-step problem statement.
Yeah.
Audience, problem, pain, cause, consequence, and urgency. Until you know those things, don't write code.
Yes.
And we've been seeing that kind of in action here.
Yeah.
It's been really
for
cool.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. I mean, all startups are the same because it is a path, and everyone is at the same moment right now. So we see and we listen a lot of the common mistakes and a lot of, the common doubts that they have. And this is what we're here for, to support them, to be part of their journey. And if they want to know more about how we do it with other startups and how we now are able to say, okay, we built this with these startups, and now they're successful business people. So yes, they're always welcome to come here and to talk to us.
Yeah, it's sad to me. We've known these numbers from just a pure tech project perspective. 80% of tech projects fail.
Yeah.
And this has been since Standish, the Chaos Report, published this for the first time in 1997. They published the first Standish report, and it said that 80% of tech projects fail. And going back at least into the early 80s, 90% of all startups fail.
Yeah.
And if you look at the reason, we did a lot of research on this. I've been a research scientist for my entire life, but we boiled it down. Why are these startups failing? And we found 40% of the time it's because of a lack of product market fit, and 40% of the time it's because of a lack of execution. So we realized really quickly, if you use marketing approaches that marketing professionals have used for generations, they know how to measure the market and find out what the problem is, what the pain is. If we do that first, and then we go and design a solution specifically to solve the pain for a known person, your product market fit is solved already. You don't have that misalignment. Then we use our proven project management methodology, which is to minimize agile as much as possible, get rid of the uncertainty as early as you can, drive for clarity, and then execute. What we find is you can eliminate most of the risk failures. And the biggest risk failure we've seen now is founder fatigue. And that is the founder, by the time they find us, they're so tired that once they get the product in their hand, they're like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Which we've been, with our venture studio, really successful in helping mitigate that. But That's what we're going to be doing all week here. Is let's find
really
out
happy to be
who
here,
has-
and we invite you to come to our podcast and to talk to us, and you'll get some really good insights from Isaac Carter.
All right, welcome back to Austin Tech Week, and this is the Catalyst Effect. I am your host, Isaac Carter, and I am here with Michael Dreger.
That's right.
Did I say your name right?
You said it perfectly.
Awesome, and you are the CEO of Maidin. Tell us a little bit about Maidin.
Maidin is an AI design studio that you can chat with. And
Okay.
I probably need a better tagline.
Yeah.
For some people, it's a bit confusing of what I mean by that. And the easiest, simple explanation is probably just ChatGPT plus Canva. It's a chatbot that you can talk to and create designs that are then editable in the chat. And so it's like if you're talking to ChatGPT, you might generate an image, but that image, you can't edit it. You can't like open up a design editor like Canva.
Okay.
Maidin is that.
So, Michael, I like to, if you could be a little closer to the
Oh, sure,
microphone
totally.
there. I like to, I have a direction to how I try to shape
That's
the
awesome.
product. So what I would like to do is I like to start with who am I solving for, what is their problem, and then how am I solving it. And I stole that directly from Donald Miller, Building a Story Brand. And what he says is if you can communicate in a few words immediately how you improve your customer's life, they're way more likely to shop with you. So let's start. Who needs Maidin?
Anyone that's building a personal brand needs Maidin. Anyone that's building any brand.
Okay. So I am building my personal brand, and I think you can see on my LinkedIn it says that I help founders build products that matter. And yes, I tortured myself over those 7 words, and it took a long time to get that down. And then we tried to build to produce the voice of the founder, so the founder can. I want to know the why, because obviously, people are building a personal brand. That is challenging. And then is Maidin helping them do that, and why are you involved in that? What's your passion for that?
Definitely. So to get started answering the question, why does Maidin help people build personal brands? I'm a computer science math double major from college. I graduated 2023.
Which school?
Carleton College.
Nice.
In Minnesota. It's a small liberal arts school, but it's one of the top computer science programs in the country. And after I graduated from that, I went through a process of eliminating different opportunities from my life.
Okay.
But in the shape of failures in different in the startup realm.
Accelerated learning.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of a advanced education in the startup world.
Right.
And so,
oh man, the universities teach you a lot of theory, but they don't prepare you for that type of real world application very well. Life has to teach you.
So when I really got started thinking about what I wanted to build as a long-term project, I went through many different options. And Maidin stuck with me as an idea because I've always been interested in content creation personally.
Okay.
But it's incredibly hard to actually build brand as you're talking about.
Yeah.
And the reality is, though, it's actually quite easy. And it's quite easy for the people who know how to do it.
Yep.
And what they do is they actually have no idea how to build brand. They just know how to look at good brand and copy it and tune it to the person.
Yeah.
And so, yes, there's a lot of insight in how do you make it authentic to the person, but a lot of things that are great are just like repurposing great things from another industry or another subject.
Borrowing brilliance.
Borrowing brilliance, exactly. And so I set out to help people be able to build brand through Maidin using that philosophy. And so what Maidin allows people to do is chat with something that has access to the world's best in brand. It can search Instagram, analyze Instagram videos, carousels. It can analyze LinkedIn content. It can analyze YouTube videos, YouTube thumbnails. And it can also search the web.
And then help take that content and align it with what's
through
trendy.
that content, it can then make brand guides, profiles, come up with color schemes, font schemas, and also create design. So it can come up with like YouTube thumbnails, Instagram thumbnails, presentations,
You're saying that it
pitch
can
decks.
replace my graphics designer?
Yes.
Nice.
So the YouTube thumbnails that it makes are pretty incredible.
And I'm going to get a free trial to that, right?
It's free.
Completely free. So
Completely free.
How are you? Do you mind talking about your monetization strategy a little bit?
Yeah, sure. I have no monetization.
Okay. So you're running a nonprofit?
It is a for-profit company. I have no pricing because it has not been a focus, in the sense that the burn rate on capital that I have is quite minimal.
So you're building your community and utilization first, and then you'll
Correct.
come back and apply it.
Yeah,
Which makes sense, because
yeah.
then you can have a monetization strategy based off of what the community, what they can accept, what they find.
I'm trying to add as much value as possible in the way that I can, as a developer and as a person who's invested in the AI world. Like, I got my double major in computer science and math to do AI. Mm-hmm. And so it's exciting that I get to work with it every day and be able to really like push the models that are out there to the extreme. And I'm all about creating quality in the product. But what I've been seeing with Maidin in general is that I haven't done much marketing at all. I've been building the core product, and it hasn't been as good as I would like it to be up to my standard. And so I haven't put marketing money behind it. So I have a limited group of users. I've made it generally available. I've done announcements and whatnot, but I haven't done any like real marketing to increase my user growth, because I have the feedback loop. I have an agency myself, where I have a designer who uses Maidin, and I use it for clients as well to help build their brands, as well as my own personal brand. And it's been reflecting and improving my personal content as well as the content of my brands. And once it gets to the point where I know like my the value that's bringing to the clients is so high and so great that the monetization and like the usage just increases dramatically once someone tries it, then I'm like, okay, I got to add in friction. But up until that point, thinking about monetization is not as important as thinking about how can I make the product better for me.
Yeah. So a lot of technical founders kind of go down that path where they see a problem. It sounds like you have a feedback loop, which most technical founders don't do. They build for themselves, and they are their only customer. And actually, that ends up being exactly like that. They are their only customer.
Yeah.
You have a user base, which is amazing. I would like to see you kind of laying out what your monetization.
Sure. I have I know what it is.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
I can talk to it. I just haven't implemented it.
Nice.
So
what I love in that space is, man, content creators are easy to find. There's a lot of conferences, a lot of places you could go to do that. Man, we use Riverside, and I love Riverside. But one problem I have with Riverside is their magic clips are literally random. So, like, it'll come up with a magic clip, and our last producer very much relied on the magic clip. And it would start off with my guest saying something, and then I might say something, and then bam, there's your clip. And the point we were trying to make wasn't there. And then obviously we're having general conversations, and then afterwards we're coming back with taking content and we're using that for brand building. Random 45-second clips of a general conversation does not build a brand.
No.
And it doesn't communicate a point. And sometimes we get some really good punchlines in there, and then we have to go back and take the transcript and load it into a custom GPT, and then have that pull out based off of what's trending and say, okay, these points, and then we got to go find it and then clip it out. And it's fine, it works, but it's not seamless, and it doesn't bridge the gap between content creation and brand building. And it sounds like that is what you're doing with Maidin.
It is in a large part what I am trying to achieve, and in a very real sense, it's also bigger in scope than what I'm currently focused on.
Okay.
Because a lot of like the video editing and whatnot is not in
Not
scope,
in scope
yet.
today. Yeah.
In the future, I think it could be something that I focus on, but where I see the AI models are right now, they're getting better. Like Sora and Veo are insane, but also there's a lot of companies also highly focused on being able to edit videos with AI,
Yeah.
and none of them have really done a good job.
Yeah, and I think that they produce a video.
They produce a video, but
It doesn't matter. It
Nobody
doesn't build
uses
the
them.
brand. Yeah.
and
Well,
so
you shouldn't use them.
yeah, exactly.
People do use them.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
And so if it doesn't work and all these people have been spending money on it, I probably could figure out some way to do it differently. But I think there's enough people working on it right now where it's like I can focus on the little niche that I have in a certain sense. But like you can analyze video in Maidin. And so like you could upload a reel and then, or like upload a video you made and then find videos that you like on social media. And then you can compare them in Maidin. So like Maidin was more of a strategist for video and it can help in the strategy side, but it's not going to like edit clips or like do create
Yeah.
video, but it can do the images and it can do design and it
I
can
think
make
that's actually
graphic designs.
technically the easy part, because once you have your brand pillar and your message pillar, you can take the transcript, analyze it, and find out what was spoken about in that video that supports the brand pillar, get the time clips out of it, and then bam, you've got it.
Yeah, so Maidin can do. It's like I haven't tested Maidin on that use case.
Yeah.
Maidin will, like, if you put in a podcast video, Maidin will have context about like the video transcript and be able to create narrative, and it has context about like what does well across different platforms. Like, for example, X or LinkedIn or TikTok, YouTube, they all have different strategies that are slightly different and different things that people are looking for on that platform. And Maidin will understand that and then curate like content differently based on what you're looking for.
So why are you doing this? Because it sounds like you could go and get a $500,000 or $2 million a year job for Facebook or Chat or OpenAI, or go out there and you could put money in the bank and have a really big career. Why this? Why are you with Maidin and going the entrepreneurship route?
Yeah, I think it's important to highlight my story and why I'm doing that, because in 2023, I graduated from college as kind of we outlined, computer science, math, double major, wanting to go into AI, thinking I was going to go like to Google or Meta or something like that. But I was actually involved with a real estate tech startup at the time, and like we thought the company was going to do really well. It was like we did $1 million ARR like the first year.
Wow.
At a college that I was working with them, and like it was just looking amazing, and it was like a fun group to work with. So I was like, I'll just try this out. Like, it's kind of risky, but like maybe it's just like really great, and it all works out. That did not happen at all. The startup like is still around today, but it never took off. It's kind of just been putting around and living. And so when that started to happen, I didn't want to get stuck there. And so I really had little direction. So I had to kind of figure out what I wanted to do. And so I tried different things. Like I tried getting into the crypto space a little bit. I tried like doing more like just the pure content creation, like being an influencer. I also like tried helping with different like making websites for people and whatnot, just like little entrepreneurial things. But all of them weren't really like my forte. What stuck is I did start a real estate private equity fund with a friend of mine. So we raised $500,000 for that, and we've been investing in private equity real estate deals, and we've actually like doubled our AUM in 1 year.
Nice.
And so that's been great, and I've learned so much from my friend in doing that. And we like he's one of my closest friends, and we are both very ambitious. So like we push off each other, trying to achieve bigger and bigger things for ourselves and together. But then I also started this agency to help a friend like sell some supplements. So they had the supplement business, and I thought I could help them. And through that, I found this really niche thing where it's like it's really hard to actually like make designs good for most people still, and like it still takes too long, and like all these AI things were coming out, and it's like there's no way that like making a design from a template or going into Canva from a blank slate is going to be the lasting thing. And so
Yeah.
I was like, I think I can make a real impact there and create the next real design tool for the world. And so that's where I started with Maidin, is this idea that really something's going to happen where creating design is going to be creating design is going to become so much easier for people, and there's going to be this moment where some platform does to Canva what Canva did to Photoshop, and that is Maidin.
So what I learned, and this is counterintuitive to anybody that has a tech background, I have a friend that runs a digital marketing firm, and he wanted to get into SaaS. So he built some custom workflows in high level, and he targeted Spanish-speaking roofers in Central Texas, and went from 0 MMR to 200,000 MMR in like 7 months, and that was by hyper targeting. And I think that is maybe your next step, is find a specific group of people that are reachable and reach them, get them using your product, and then use that to launch into your next verticals. So
I agree 100%. I think the feedback that I've gotten consistently just about me as an entrepreneur is that I often am a little bit too broad. And it's like
I felt
being
for that
simpler,
for 20 years, man.
being simpler, more specific is what I try and focus on, in the sense that like it's like what I seek to improve of myself as an entrepreneur. It's exciting because it's like I do have to find that exact target.
Yep.
And a little bit better positioning so that I can talk about Maidin in one sentence.
Yeah. Oh man, but you have a product, you have a base, and you're on your way. So really happy for you, buddy. All right,
for the
well this
conversation.
is our first guest here at Austin Tech Week. Michael, thank you so much for being here. Hi, I'm Isaac Carter. This is The Catalyst Effect, and we are at Austin Tech Week presented by Capital Factory, and I am here with Dan from AutoHDR. Thanks for being on the show with us, Dan.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Dan, tell me about AutoHDR.
Yes, sir. We do real estate photography editing with AI.
Okay, so what does the AI do in the photography editing?
Yes, so all we do is we edit the real estate photos, which I know what you're thinking. Real estate photography, isn't there like 10 real estate photographers in the entire world? Turns out it's a fairly big market. So,
yeah, there sure is.
My co-founder had a real estate photography business himself, and then his biggest expense was the editing. So he figured, hey, let's use some of that new juicy AI and automate all the editing.
So we, I sold my mom's house recently. My stepdad passed away, and we needed to sell the house. Life happens. So she had her house, we renovated it, and we hired a real estate agent, and she went in with her cheap Android phone, took some horrible pictures, and posted it up, and bam, we've got a live listing. Looked awful. Nobody wanted to come see the house. And so there was a company that we could hire that went down and had the 360 cameras, and they were able to take it with the measurements and all of that.
Yeah.
It looked way better. So you are taking the pictures, hopefully not from the agent, but from somebody who's taking the pictures, and then you're editing them with the AI on the back end.
Exactly, yeah. So industry standard is the real estate photographers will, take a bunch of photos, or they have a bunch of photographers go and take photos, and then basically the industry standard is to send all those photos overseas to be edited, and it's quite expensive and it's quite slow because you have to wait all that time, and a lot of the time it's like $1 a photo to be edited, because you're merging these HDR photos together, so you have the dark exposure, mid exposure, bright exposure, and you gotta make sure you can see outside the window with the dark exposure and the shadows with the bright exposure, all that. Anyways, so yeah, that's our core product. It's just editing those photos automatically, snap of fingers, boom, it's done, and then we do all the kind of stuff on top of that, like putting fire in the fireplace and clouds in the sky, and
The right
getting rid of the cameras.
HGTV
Yeah,
channel on the
exactly.
television, or
Yeah.
put it in a TV, or like stage it if it's not staged.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So, in your life cycle, where are you? Are you in market? Are you still building
we're in
and
market.
testing?
Yeah, so we launched in February, I want to say, and we're doing pretty well now. We're editing about, I think, roughly like 15% of all listings on Zillow. You can go online. That's us.
Awesome.
We're doing pretty well. We didn't raise any money because raising money is for sissies. No, just didn't need to. Definitely not. Definitely. No, we just didn't need to just because that's kind of the cool thing now with AI. You can kind of, so just my co-founder and I and a few other people were able to just really build this extremely quickly with raising no money. And so it's a very exciting time to build startups. I think it probably like, a few founders are more powerful than they've ever been because of the tools to build startups and stuff like that. So.
Oh yeah, I mean I have ideas about startups all the time, and it used to be that I would have to go out and shop a founder, and then go out and shop for financing or pay for it myself, and then 6 or 8 months later we can test the market. And now I can have an idea, I can have something built. Becca is my UX designer, so Becca will help me with the UX, and then we build it, and 3 or 4 days later we're testing it, and that's it's amazing. Obviously, we test the market, we find out there's a market there, and then we go back and engineer the product and do it a little bit different. So, what you've got the AutoHDR, you're out there direct sales to real estate agents, or how's your sale working?
Yes, so we actually just sell to the real estate photographers themselves. So, the agents hire the real estate photographers, and then we just sell to the real estate photographers.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So, and your roadmap, obviously, you just launched, and so you've got like a minimally marketable product, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we're fairly mature at this point.
What's your product roadmap looking like? What's next?
Man, that's a good question. To be honest, right now, we just want to be the best at what we do, and then beyond that, there's all kinds of cool stuff we can do. But for now, it's just editing every photo out there. I think is.
You gonna get into like videos?
Yeah, we've looked at it. Right now, it's kind of off in the future, but right now, I think just making the product the best it can be is kind of what we're focused on.
So we are one of my gigs is I'm a fractional CTO for a company called ImageQ, and we've got uses the LiDAR lens. You can scan a room and immediately get the entire floor plan measurements, very accurate, and then go in through our partners and design the space. So I think it would be really neat to see if these ideas could go together, because you'll have pictures of a room, the photographer could even take the scan of the room, and then we could, I have some feeds where I'm taking all of the live listings from certain regions, including Austin. Somebody could go in and say, I want this to be my lifestyle, and we could show here are the houses that could support that, and then just really narrow that down.
Sure.
So there could be some really cool complementary product fits there.
Totally.
Would love to chat with you a little bit more about that.
Absolutely.
That's exciting for me is how do we, so I see real estate agents they're stressed, especially right now. There's a lot of ruling changes coming out that affect their commission structure. 6% of a sale of a house does not work for the home buyer and seller, and it's turning out it's not working for the real estate agent either. And
right.
Look at that. There's technology out here that could allow people to narrow down these 3 houses and then go out and look at it themselves. I think that's an industry that's very fluid right now. Necessarily, it has to change. It's not serving.
That's one of those really interesting things where it's like, it's amazing that real estate agents still get 6% for that whole kind of thing, because it's one of those things that someone hasn't figured out how to do yet. But once someone figures out
well, let me tell you, people have figured it out.
Yeah.
And this is the reason why the National Association of Realtors keeps losing these lawsuits, these antitrust lawsuits, is because they figured out and they're actively squashing it.
Okay. But it's still not horribly popular, but it's like, it's there quietly, or maybe I'm completely wrong. Maybe I'm just
there are things, but now with these antitrust rulings, prop tech is open space now. We're able to operate in there, and there's not a lot that the Association of Realtors can do to limit these things anymore. They're doing it in other ways.
Yeah.
which is going to make me deeply unpopular, but they are investing in companies and purchasing IP
Got it.
to squash it. And they're doing that through side ventures.
Yeah. Got it.
This is an industry that has to be addressed, and I think coming in first off, addressing a very small problem. You know, Henry Ford. Every founder I've ever met loves to quote Henry Ford. If I asked the people what they wanted, they would have said faster horses. Mm-hmm. And they use that to say that the tech founder can go build anything that they want. And, well, that's not true. Henry Ford did not invent the automobile. He invented a way to get it to more people at a lower cost. Mm-hmm. Steve Jobs did not, his first device was not the iPhone. His first device was to take components off the shelf and put it together into a device that was more accessible to end users. He took things that existed and gave it to people who wanted it at a lower price. Mm-hmm. Henry Ford did the same thing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what you did. This editing of the pictures has to happen, but it needs to be fast, it needs to be efficient, and it needs to be a lower price. And so you're solving that. And now that's going to give you some capital so you can go in and solve the next thing. And what we find is the first thing you do is what must be done, and then what can be done, and before you know, you're doing the impossible. And then Walt Disney, every founder knows that doing the impossible is fun.
Yeah.
Walt Disney started off by drawing cartoons on paper and taking a picture of it, technology that existed, and then improved until he's built something that's absolutely impossible. I like what you guys are doing at IDR.
AutoHDR.
Audio HDR. I love that because you're not reinventing the wheel yet. You're positioning yourself so you can. I'd like to see where we can collaborate there.
Totally.
We've got some stuff in our pipeline that I think would help you guys out.
Absolutely.
All right, Dan, AutoHDR. How do our folks find you?
Yeah, AutoHDR.com. We'll also be at PMRE. If you're in the real estate biz, come say hello to us. But also one other thing before you kick me out of here.
Not kicking you out.
Is that's all right. I deserve to be kicked out. But we have a Austin Tech Week event Thursday night, 7:00. It's called Your Startup Sucks.
I saw that.
We have some special guests coming in. It's going to be very, very fun. So if you're around, it's at Maggie Mays. It's right across the street from Capital Factory, the center of gravity for entrepreneurs.
Awesome.
And come say hello. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So why does the startup suck? Because and I have some opinions on this.
Yeah.
I've noticed, 90% of startups fail. 90%. Mm-hmm. And I did a lot of analysis about why. 40% of the time it's a lack of product market fit. You built something nobody wants.
Yeah.
40% of the time, it's lack of execution.
Yeah.
You can't even build it. Mm-hmm. Nobody wants it, and you can't even get it done to begin with.
Yeah.
And maybe 10, 15% of the time, it's because of founder fatigue.
Okay.
And I think that Capital Factory really does a good job with addressing that. You're not building alone. You're here. You're in a community. There's events, there's support.
Yeah. Capital Factory has been very good to us. We were, when Matt and I started, we were literally, sleeping in Capital Factory, just, kind of putting everything into the business and Capital Factory. I met him here in Capital Factory. So, it's a very special place.
Yeah, so for me, what I want to do is I want to know who I'm building for. Most founders don't. They read the Lean Startup, and they think build, measure, learn means I have an idea, I'm going to build it. And then they build it, and then they realize that nobody wants it because you didn't solve a problem, you built an idea.
Right.
And then most of the time they build something. I'm on a startup right now, is doing one of our startup rescues. The CTO, the dude literally Googled, how do I make a mobile app? Flutterflow.
Yeah.
Okay. Where do I store the data?
Firebase.
No, worse. They used Supabase. How do I do authentication? Supabase. Where do I store pictures? ImageKit. The architecture is literally like one Google search at a time.
That's kind of impressive, though. I kind of am waiting for like the $1 billion.
Guess what
company.
happens when the third person logs in with that?
Yeah, it starts melting.
Yeah, the whole thing melts.
Yeah.
Superbase can only handle 2 users at a time.
Right,
Authentication. Literally, the authentication layer is 2.
I think we're gonna see a few of those like billion-dollar unicorns that are just vibe coded from one guy. I'm kind of excited for that.
I think so, but it's going to be somebody that at least understands install T3.
Yeah.
Get your RDS instance installed.
Yeah.
Use Cognito. As long as you know those things, I've built some awesome products on vibe coding by myself.
Yeah.
2-3 days, but it's using a proper architecture.
Totally. And I would say there's a secret, that all the good CTOs have. And I'll give it to you for free here, but it's basically all successful CTOs hard code their API keys. You don't use environment variables. You just hard code them. You're way better off. Saves so much time.
Yeah, and then you can be featured on your startup sucks, right? Listeners, that was absolutely sarcasm, and if it wasn't sarcasm, then I am kicking Dan out of here. Dan, this has been great. I am excited to see more. I do want to continue our conversation because I think I've got some cool parallel.
And are you going to come on the show Thursday, 7 o'clock? Your startups. Are you going to come on?
7 p.m.
7 p.m.
No, I am not going to do that. I am going to be roasting marshmallows with my family at 7 p.m. But
okay.
Maybe we can have Becca and Javi stop by.
Okay, there you go.
Awesome.
Roast some marshmallows, and then we'll roast some tech founders. It'll be great.
Awesome. All right.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much,
Isaac,
Dan.
thanks so much.
Good to see you.